Alright, once again, it is Twisted Nightmare Gaming. It is Nightmare on the camera. And we got your boy over here, Twisted. He's getting ready to profile a very special deck to himself. What you got for us today, good sir?
It's actually a deck that I rebuilt for Link format. Now that that's a thing, I've been waiting for all my cards to come in the mail. Finally got them. Some of them I not only upgraded the rarity, I changed the language because why not? I like German cards.
Right.
This is the deck that I played in the prior to Link's. I did play it in regional. I went 7-2 in it. Got my invite that regional. It was at that time. It had Wind Witches in it. I think you know where I'm going with this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's invoked. So let's go and get started. Obviously to start with, you have your 3 Alistairs.
Yep.
Your Invoke Searcher, or your Invocation Searcher. One thing I love doing that really throws people off guard is just setting him, and then they attack into him. They forget that it's even when he's flipped face up, you add the Invocation. A lot of people tend to forget that. I love doing that. Since Wind Witches aren't really viable anymore, I swapped over the Mekk Knights. Played a Nightfall, which searches another Mekk Knight. The Blue Sky searches a number of Mekk Knights equal to the number of cards in the column that your opponent controls that he's summoned into. Eclipse to move the Mekk Knights around. Red Moon because it's another name. The Yellow Star because it's another name. And my deck, I know almost all FTKs are pretty much banned except for the latest one that is basically really dumb. You can look up Jeff Jones's latest FTK on YouTube. That was just at, I believe, YCS Niagara. My deck can still FTK you, which is hilarious, and I love it. I've done it multiple times in playtesting, and people don't like it. I'm keeping the artifact engine in here of 2 Scythe and 1 Morale Tech. It used to be 3 and 1, but it fits better right now with the 2 Scythe and 1 Morale Tech. Keeping the Kaijus in here. Dogran, Gardala, Gamma Seal. There's supposed to be a 4th one, but I don't have it right now, and I'm still trying to figure out how to put it in. And that would be Humongous. If you figure it out, be my guest. That's it for the monsters. Slumber, because, well, obviously Kaijus. Super Poly, because this is invoked. And I've had people try to stop my Alistair effect or other stupid attacks with my Super Poly. Yes, this is in German. This is one of the cards I upgraded. Won it in an auction, actually, at just under half price of the actual card. When they like to negate my stuff or try to stop my attacks, I just drop the Super Poly and then just go into something and be like, alright, you're doing what now? Cool. Moving on, back to what I was doing. And you can't chain to it if you don't remember. Terraforming to search the obvious Magical Meltdown field spell, which grabs Alistair, which allows you to enable your plays. And when you make your fusion summons, much like Super Poly, when your fusion monster hits the board, they can't respond to anything. So it's really handy, especially when you're summoning like a Raijin. Summon Raijin, activate his effect immediately. They can't respond to it and just Book a Moon something. Invocation. I've had these 3 German copies since they came out over 2 years ago. Thank you to my little sister for acquiring 2 of them, and Butters for swapping the English for the German for the 3rd one. Instant Fusion, so you can continue your plays into Link. I like to typically summon one in particular at first that you don't ever really summon, and it's Kaliga, because he helps you go in, but I do prefer to go Raijin and then with the Alistair into the Link Alistair. But most of the time, I'll have a Mekk Knight, summon him, and then use him to go into the Link. 3 MST. The only explanation you need to hear on this one is I play artifacts. This helps because you set the MST, you set the site, your opponent's turn, you're about to start making stupid plays, Even, for example, say you're playing against Sky Striker and you have a set MST and a set sight. During their turn, when they activate that Hornet drones, you chain MST, target your face down sight. They look at you like, okay.
As long as they don't have multi-roll on field. Because if multi-rolls on field, you can't even chain to the activation of theirs.
Yeah. And if they,
but on another note, if you can't tell which one that is the freaking Magic Ruler First Edition.
The best one. Next to the ulti.
Hey, I like my Go Ghost Ray, damn it.
I will still play this over the ulti.
I still like my Go Ghost Ray.
I'm not hating on those. But yeah, they activate Hornet drones, you chain MST on your site, summon the site, they're now stuck with a monster in their main zone, making the rest of their spells and spells useless, and then site just says you can't summon from the extra deck. Their turn's done. And you basically win the game at that point. Called by the Grave to stop hand traps. Monster Reborn. All your fusion monsters are properly fusion summoned through invocation, so this just says, yeah, they're coming back. Mind Control to help make links or just get something pesky out of the way. And then fuse with it or something. I don't care. Book of Law. The Alistair Link searches, and this helps your FTK. Artifact Sanctum to summon the artifacts out of your deck and get them off. Plus, if this set card's destroyed, you can target a card in the field and pop it. And I know I said that's all for the monsters, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I did lie. Hand traps because Effect Veiler and Ash. I don't think they need explanation, and this helps summon Purgatrio. But the Dinosaur Kaiju already does that for you, so this is just extra. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Like I said, you got the Alistair Link that I was explaining earlier. You just need like the Mekk Knight and the Carliga, since they're light and dark and different types. Because you need different types and different attributes to summon two monsters to summon him. Then you summon him. That way, when fusion monsters get summoned, you just discard a card and either add Invocation or Book of Law. His when he leaves the field to add Omega Summon, you're never going to use because you honestly don't play that card unless you're playing casual. Carliga. One thing I really like about him, if you actually have to summon him through Invocation, if you manage to keep him on the field in defense mode and protect him, each player only gets one effect and one attack per turn from monsters on the field, and that can actually really hold off a lot of stuff. It doesn't stop continuous effects though, so do keep that in mind. One thing you're probably going to notice, I'm only playing a single Invoked Raijin. Reason being, like, yes, he's nice, but I don't need to rely on him. If you're having to rely on him, you're already putting yourself in a bad situation. So instead of doing two of him, I'm actually playing double Purgatrio, because he does piercing and gains a lot of attack.
And you have 4 targets for it too.
And I have 4 different monsters to summon it. And if you play an Ash yourself, cool, thanks. I now have another target for Purgatrio. And plus, after Purgatrio's done, I can go Book of Law and drop into anything else. For example, this, or I can Book of Law into that just to stop the rest of the hold up your next turn for a little while. Mekaba, he's obvious reasons, he's kind of mandatory. Another reason behind Book of Law is Invoked Elysium. And Invoked Elysium is also another reason behind the Super Poly being in the main deck. Because on field, he's all 6 attributes. What you can do with him, he's also part of your FTK. Because he's the finishing touch. What you can do with him is you can, I believe it is, does it have to be on field or grave? Yeah, target 1 invoked monster you control, or 1 invoked monster in the graveyard. Banish it, and then banish all attributes that your opponent controls of that attribute. Now, if you banish himself while he's on the field, since he counts as all 6, you just banished your opponent's entire field. Which I've done before. It's hilarious, and they hate it. And and he only takes an invoked monster and a monster special summon from the extra deck. So say your opponent has a Link monster on the field, and you have Super Poly and an Invoked monster on the field, you can just go Super Poly, use their monster, especially if you're against the Goki, especially if you're against the Goki U-Link, because you're utilizing their zone. Their zone now clears up because you can summon this. I'm pretty sure that's right. If it's not, oh well, that's why we have part of the side deck to deal with this stuff. Underclock Taker, hit standard Link. If you can't summon the Alistair, you summon him, and he helps enable more stupid stuff. Also part of the FTK, which is really dumb. I play the Nightmare stuff, that way I have other things to go into. This helps pop a back row. Sometimes you just need him just to have a Link to go into. Then you can link up into the Unicorn, spin a card off the field, and keep going. Tristmania, because against Sky Striker, this hurts a lot. Against anything that plays a lot of back row, this hurts a lot regardless, because you don't really set anything but your artifacts, your MST, and your Sanctum. Banish all that stuff, and then for every one of theirs that got banished, they take 500. And against Sky Striker, if that happens, they just automatically lose that turn. Boar Reload. He's supposed to be Boar Sword, but that's the only card we're still missing due to budget. But he still works just fine.
Because it's Borreload doing Borreload things, because it's Borreload, goddammit.
Pretty much. And then Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. I know there's no Cyber Dragons in the deck, but that's what the side deck's for. He helps clear out stuff that you don't want to deal with and helps deal with the Goki Link. Because then after you clear out the Goki Link, you just use him and go into your Alistair. And then side deck, like I said, that helps deal with that stuff. Double Cyber Dragon. I pretty much just gave you the reason behind it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, he can be a beat stick if you don't need it. You got your Seravis. He helps deal with Widow Anchor and any cards that target exactly one monster, because he is a hand trap himself. For a while, a lot of people forgot about that. I originally read it when it came out. I said this is going to be good one day. It's actually good now. Twin Twisters, because just need more back row destruction, because why not?
Of course.
Evenly matched.
Self-explanatory.
Again, self-explanatory, mainly for Sky Striker and Goki. And the mirror match, which if you went into the mirror match and you don't know and you're not playing artifacts in your deck, I'm sorry. For your opponent. Red Reboot. Much like Evenly Matched, this helps you deal with Altergeist. Because
to hell with all of you! All of you!
And then this is a personal tech of mine that I ran way back then. Penguin Soldier. Honestly, this is just to be funny. And at the same time, I have won a regional match that I got my invite with because of this. And the funny thing is, that match was against Zoodiac. Because they thought it was an Alistair, so they didn't attack it. My turn came around, I flipped it, bounced stuff, and they're just like, what? Then I use it to make the an invoked fusion monster that's not in here, Cocytus. And I know I spoke of an FTK, so real quick, let me show that to you. All it really requires is you to open up, really with these cards. You don't even have to have the field spell. If you open up the field spell, that's even better, because you would prefer the one to open up Terraforming. I know we're showing Invocation. It's a little weird. And discard.
What about the Book of Law?
You're gonna actually end up getting that.
Okay.
So say you're going second, your opponent doesn't really do much, but they leave two cards in the same column, not knowing you're playing Invoked. Honestly, the last card doesn't really matter, but for the hell of it, let's just say it's well, not the second Alistair. Let's just say it was this that you drew. Kind of need my extra deck too. There we go. So you're gonna leave their monster alone. You're gonna go terraforming. Add your meltdown. Activate your meltdown. Add Alistair. Then you drop your purple Nightfall. You activate Nightfall's effect, banish himself. You're going to add the blue sky. Where is he? There he is. Set these to the side because you're going to getting them. Then you're going to drop the blue sky. His effect's going to activate. You're going to add 2 more. Or from your to your stuff. It doesn't really matter which 2. Then you proceed to go ahead and summon your Alistair. Alistair will add you another invocation, which is actually kind of crucial to this. Then you go ahead and just link into your madness. It's been a few minutes since I've done this, so bear with me. Drop your Indigo Eclipse. In fact, move him over. Drop your yellow star. Your invocation's gonna happen. Because now I don't remember. Yeah, you banish your Alistair from the grave. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You play Instant Fusion.
There you go. I was wondering when you were going to say that one. Put the Alistair and the other one back in your hand, though.
Yeah. That's there in the grave. These are in your hand. That's there. It's easier when I'm in a game trying to do this.
I've seen him literally just run this off.
Without thinking.
It's the simple fact that, you know, behind the camera, things kind of, your brain kind of goes derp.
Yeah. Especially when you haven't played the game in a while because you've been busy playing Vanguard, as you've seen me doing the Vanguard videos.
I mean, I understand where he's coming from. Because as you've seen, I've been doing a lot of Pokemon profiles, so...
And if Fusion Summon occurred, so what you can do is you use Invoker Madness effect, you discard the dog run, and you add a nice little Book of Law from your deck to your hand. You proceed to activate Invocation, banish Alistair, banish your Yellow Star, summon your Mekka. There's that. You shuffle your Invocation back into the deck, add the Alistair back. Proceed to go ahead and make another link. You link into your Underclock Taker. You go ahead and activate Alistair on Mekka. Activate another Invocation. Banish your Alistair. Banish your, let's just say Purgatrio.
The Dogoran to get out Purgatrio.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You summon Purgatrio. You activate Undercost effect. Target your Purgatrio. Target their monster. Their monster now loses 2,500. You attack. 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 If they're still alive somehow, you activate Book of Law. And if they activate a monster effect to stop you, you have an Alistair to say no. Book of Law. Tribute. Drop the Elysium and just game. I know it sounds like a lot, because it is a lot, but if you pull this off, and I've done this multiple times, and it's hilarious.
I've seen him do it. I can attest to it.
And it's only because I play multiple copies of all these cards. It really does a lot, and it makes your opponent go, oh shit. So FTKs aren't dead, but this is great, and I love it. I got some other stuff coming up just finished up a tournament. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and get ready for some other stuff that we're doing tonight. And I'll get you guys in a little bit.
Alright, once again, Twisted Nightmare Gaming, Nightmare getting on camera. Twisted just finished up his K.A.M.I deck profile. Guys, stay tuned.